The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon. Hi, welcome to RIA Match and Discover the Choices. So we will do the RIA Match website tour today. I am Mary Ann Buchanan, founder and CEO of RIA Match, and thank you for joining us. What I want to do is cover some quick housekeeping for the group. So let's do an audio check. Raise your hand if you can hear me. So do you see where you can raise your hand in that panel on the right? Okay, there we go. There's a hand. Hello, Katie, Matthew. Okay, we've got a couple of other hands going up. Okay, great. So sounds like people can hear me. Good. Very good. Okay, we're going to take questions in the chat box in the panel. So if you look down below, you can see that chat box. Just type your city in, and just so that I know that you can see that chat box and we've got it working. Type the city where you're calling from, and let's see if we can get some response there. Okay, Lancaster, cool. All right, East Peoria, good deal with New York City. Very good. We've got a nice cross-section of people, wonderful. And so that's where we'll type the questions in at the end. So very quick housekeeping rules. So what we'd like to do today is cover three things in our 30-minute training. First, we're going to show you how to create your profile. Then what we'll do is we'll give you some tips to utilize your match list. And finally, show you how to assess a profile. It's all quite intuitive, and once you get it, you'll be off and running. But first, let me do a brief introduction about RIA Match. So what is RIA Match? RIA Match is a website that offers financial advisors solutions for succession planning and growth. The website matches financial advisors with other financial advisors and RIAs who want to buy, sell, join, or merge practices. The advisors and the RIAs can search for free and pay to connect anonymously and securely on our site. RIA Match's mission is to create an efficient market for advisors and RIAs to partner their practices. The site is agnostic as to custodial platform or whether a deal gets done. It's a pure approach. We're designed to serve all advisors, regardless of scale, scope, or experience. Our goal is to bring the advisors the most efficient tools and excellent information so that you all can make the best decisions for succession planning and growth of your firm. What I'd like to do is start on the home page. I want to point out that in addition to the matching component, we have a digest of industry articles. And we've organized, I'm going to scroll the screen up here so you can see here, we've organized the articles into your goals. So articles from all our industry, many of our industry trade journals, if you're interested in joining a firm or forming a firm or planning for the future. So, if you clicked on planning for the future, what you'd see are articles. There's one from Advisor One. We have them from Investment News, RIA Biz. We have books. So this is a great source of information for you. And we will be updating that as we've been launching. We haven't given that as much attention, but we will be bringing all the articles. There's so much written out there for us, and if we organize it in this fashion, then you can cut through to laser on what your issues are. Also, in these sections, when you go to read an article, there's a library feature. So if there's an article that interests you, you can save it to your library. I'll show you where that is when we log in. And you can read it then and save it, or you can just go, oh, I want to come back and read this one, and go from there. So that's the knowledge and insight section. The other component, I'm going to move slowly so my screen is refreshed for you, there is in the RIA Match store. In very short order, we're going to be putting actionable solutions in the store for you to help with your challenges and your goals, checklists, and good, solid, actionable information for you. So what I'd like to do now is go ahead and log in. And you see the login is up there on the right. Now, I will show you how this works. Alrighty. So when you are already registered, you arrive at your dashboard. And on your dashboard, you have the Knowledge and Insight section. And you see there's my library. I can view the full library, but there are some recent articles. You'll see items in the store, new articles that have been added, and that's sort of in the center. And over here on the right is my profile. So at a glance, I can see where I am as far as how far I've completed, what recent activities I have. Also, up across the top, we can see my match list has got 54, I guess that's 54 unviewed, 71 total matches, and my messages. I've got 3 messages to respond to. But what I want to do first is take a look at, our first goal is to learn how to complete our profile. So we come up here to Profile and go to Matching Profile. So when you register on the site, what happens is that you verify your email address, and then it comes back and it brings you to a page where you then say, let me start my matching profile. And so you land here. We have the profile divided into 4 sections: personal profile, practice profile, philosophy and culture, and your goals. So, and you can see over here on the right, here's the breakdown of each of those sections. So what we want to do first is look at the personal profile. Now remember, we don't give away your name or address. It's an anonymous and secure site. But we do need to know where you're operating from so that we can tell you how far away from you your matches are. So some basic information in the personal profile. Are you a producing owner? Do you have any non-competes, anything like that? And I'm just clicking across the tabs. These are all pull downs and clicks. So it goes very smoothly. It should take you about 25 minutes to complete. So again, here are affiliations, licenses, and your education. You can add as many educational items as you have to add, graduate, undergraduate, any licensing that you have that you'd wanted to, or any other certificates, you can add them there as well. So that's the personal profile. The practice profile is really, this is where you tell us about the scale and scope of your practice. Are you a solo practitioner, or are you an ensemble? Are you new to the industry? And we go through here and really ask some, we get quite granular, but it's quite quick on your affiliations. Assets under management, assets under advisement, again, sort of scale and scope, number of owners, number of advisors. We also take a look at the client composition. How many clients does your practice serve? How many accounts? Let me do some of these pull downs so you can see the range on clients and accounts. What is your account minimum? Percentage of discretionary authority. We also look at your client type. So what percent is ultra high net worth? We define that by greater than 30 million of financial assets. What about high net worth is greater than 1 million, mass affluent? We also include in here pension and profit sharing plans, retirement, other pooled, you can see the list here. So we're quite broad in that. So it's important to know when you're looking at others' profiles also who they serve. What services do you offer? Are you doing financial planning? Are you doing retirement planning, tax planning, portfolio management? What type of investment products do you use? You can see you're collecting a lot of good information. Outside business activities, outsourcing, TAMPs. It's a good look at the services that you're involved with. Then who's your custodian? So you click your primary custodian, and also you can have a multiple selection of your secondary custodians. We ask what technologies that your firm uses. This is important because it's if you're looking at another profile and things look like a good match, but you're not sure, but by golly, you line up on contact management or you line up on financial planning. So it's a place to start the dialogue. Naturally, if it's not a good fit, but it lines up with technology, that wouldn't work either. But it's more of a confirming piece. It would give you the idea of the ease that a merger would happen or joining an existing firm. So what we've done so far is we've talked about our personal profile and our practice profile. A topic that's often left out is philosophy and culture. Now we'll go there. That won't, as we fill this in, this is a qualitative read. Why it's good is because these answers often aren't Boolean. They aren't yes or no's, but they're somewhere in between. So this is a great exercise as you identify and describe your firm, and also when you do meet up with someone that's going to join your firm or a firm of, that you might choose to merge with, it reminds you to have these conversations to cover these points of firm philosophy and culture. So are you a lifestyle practice or an enterprise practice? Or somewhere in between. So, and when we say lifestyle, what we mean is that the firm's identity is linked almost completely to the individual contributors of its partners. And an enterprise practice might have more than one partner, multiple partners, and it's linked to the firm as a whole. Team philosophy. Do your advisors work individually, or do they work as a team? Now, sometimes they're somewhere in between, right? So this allows you to reflect that. Are your operations centralized or decentralized? So decentralized would be if the advisor takes care of his own marketing, his own client services, and centralized naturally would be a common resource for the firm as a whole. Systems and procedures. You have minimal systems and procedures or extensive. And when we talk about systems and procedures, that's a broad topic. But again, it reminds you when you're speaking with someone to flush this out a bit. And really, is there consistency of client care supported by systems and procedures in your firm? Asset growth plan. Is it passive or strategic? Do you have an ongoing, multi-pronged, documented growth plan in place where you're doing seminars, you've got an active referral, or you've got an active rainmaker? What about your advisor growth plan? Well established or not yet formed? Somewhere in the middle. So this is great. It allows you to go through. Client ownership. Who owns the clients? Do they belong to the firm or to the advisor? Okay, so now we've looked at our personal profile, our practice profile, philosophy and culture. So let's go on to goals. So now let's tell us, what is it that you want to do? Do you want to sell or buy your practice, sell a practice, buy a practice or merge, add advisors? What we find is that a lot of advisors want to start a succession plan or start a contingency plan, but they're not exactly sure how that's going to work out. It might mean that they're not sure whether they are going to do a succession through adding advisors or through merging or selling. They're not quite sure yet. So here you can click a number of different options. So it's a good starting point. Okay, so you've told us what you want to do. Where do you want to do it? You can pick a number of regions. So for example, if you were thinking of growing your practice and opening up an office in another area, wouldn't it be great to team up with someone who's similar in that new area, maybe 300 miles away? Or let's say you're thinking of retiring and you want to move to the Southwest. Again, you can search by more than one region, which is helpful. So we've talked about what your goals are, where you want to do it. So now let's look at some other factors. So your advisor, your perfect match, your ideal match, would have assets under management of about what size? Now there are a number of different ranges here. I'll show you how we'll work that. You pick the one that's in the middle of what you're looking for. How many clients? does your perfect match have? Years of experience? What form of compensation? If you're fee only, there you go. Or if you are fee only and you're looking to bring someone else into your firm, and maybe that person is headed toward being fee only, but they haven't made the full transition, you might want to look at the 75% and then go from there. Or maybe you just want to stick with fee only if that's it. What is your sense of urgency? As soon as possible or within the next year or longer? So now you've got these factors identified. We go on to what's important. So here, we talked about that location. Now, is it a deal breaker or is it not that important? Well, let me explain. Let's say that I was in New York City and I'm in Midtown Manhattan, so I'm really looking 5 miles is about as far as I want to go. If I put it to deal breaker, I will only see firms that match my specifications that are within 5 miles of my point in New York City. And also, if someone was outside of that area, they wouldn't see me either. So I'm not getting interest from people who are not meeting my deal breaker criteria. But you also might want to bring it in just a little bit to see who else fits with the other criteria that is close to your ideal location. Same with assets under management, clients under advisement, years as an advisor, that compensation structure. Again, so if it were fee only and that's really all you wanted to do, you'd put it as a deal breaker, and so you'd only see those that are 100% fee. And also shares my sense of urgency. So once you've gone through the profile, and on each page you hit save and continue, save and continue, save and continue, and at the end you hit submit. Now, good to know, you can always go in and change these things. You can go in and work with your match objectives. You can go in and change this however you want, and you just hit save, and it will update. Matches are run every hour, so that's how that works. So this is a lot of information. Let's look at how is this captured for ease of view. So now we're looking at my own. So if you were to build your own profile, then this is what it looks like. So you can see mature solo practitioner in Northern Virginia, metropolitan DC. So that's clearly providing me anonymity. There are my search objectives, my personal information, practice information, client composition. See that? So at a glance, if we look at the client composition, at a glance we can see, okay, so 70% high net worth. Just a small percent is ultra high net worth, and there's a smattering of other things. Okay, so at a glance, you can see the different aspects of the client composition. There are the services, advisory services that are offered, the types of investments used, outside business activities, custodians, technology. Now here is the philosophy and culture section. So you can see that lifestyle practice, enterprise practice, all the different things that we noted. Our third point, which I'm actually going to jump in here in the essence of time and show you, when we say we'll show you how to assess a profile, well, you obviously go down and you see the stuff that's printed straight out in front of you, but specifically in philosophy and culture, if you are looking to join a lifestyle practice, you're looking maybe to merge with another lifestyle practice, it's quite possible that these little blue balls are going to be over toward the left. Obviously, team philosophy, if they work individually, that's where it's going to be. It's going to be a lifestyle practice. Client ownership at the bottom belonging to the advisors. You're going to see some left-hand little markers. If they are an enterprise practice, or if they're a lifestyle practice that's very well organized, you're going to see that operations, systems and procedures, asset growth plan, advisor growth plan. Those are all going to be to the right. So really, at a glance, you can see what's going on in the practice, which is really very helpful. So now when you're viewing your own profile, you get to see your match objectives again here and how you've decided, are they a deal breaker, are they not that important, how you've weighted those. So that's very helpful to see. When you're looking at someone else's profile, you don't see those. Now this is a lot of information. And can you imagine you've got that on each one of the profiles that you're matched with. So it's important to give you some sort of an at-a-glance help here. So that's why we do the match list. So what you can see is that they are done in, they are listed on your match list, the most recent first. There's the profile number, and you can click there to view the profile. A basic description, early ensemble firm, mature solo practitioner. So you get at a glance who they are, where they're located, their distance from your office, match quality. Now I just made some changes to mine and look, they all got upgraded. Now my ranking, I'll show you. You get to go in and rank a profile on your own. And also status, if they've sent you an indication of interest or you have sent them one, if they're notes or mail. So one thing that I want to point out is I've got two profiles in here. So you see this 0. This is actually one of my other profiles, and I have it in here to show you that if you're doing a search and you're in a firm that you actually perhaps may be looking to join another firm, and you see that the distance is 0, you might want to block that. I'll show you how that works. You do it when you get to the profile section. Also, match quality. This is our proprietary matching algorithms. So I've got mine very wide, which is why I've got so many high-quality matches. And they've all been upgraded. So whatever I did last, I really made it much, it's like widening or narrowing the net. So you can see the match quality, and you can also look at them by your own ranking. And at a glance, you can get to the notes. Very easy. I'm going to come to the advanced filter in just a minute, but what I want to do is show you how to view a profile and what you can do. So here's, and this isn't, I have two profiles, I think. This is me. So it shows you there's the search objectives, there's the personal information, but notice up here the quality of match. So that's the proprietary algorithm saying, okay, this is a 4-ball match. And so that helps, but I've got it as a 5. Well, maybe I'm thinking, no, I think it's a 3-star match. They think it's a 4 out of 5 balls. I'm saying it's 3 out of 5 stars. So you get to rank it yourself. You can send someone an indication of interest just by clicking there, and that is a window pops up that just says it's been sent. I've already done it. That's why it doesn't work there. An indication of interest is like winking or poking on another social media site. It's what you can do in the free basic plan, and we can talk about the plans. But that's a nice thing to be able to do without using up one of your contacts. You can send a message, and you can see how that's anonymous. You can view or edit the notes. You can print the profile. You can share the profile. Let's say you're tasked in your practice with looking to add other advisors, but you need to share it with the other partners in the firm. So you can just send them the email this way. They don't have to be in the system. One person can do it. Remember how I talked about if you wanted to block a profile? That's how you'd block it. And you unblock by coming up here and unblocking. Okay, so let's go back to our match list. So there's a great deal that you can do to see within one portfolio, one profile. And again, down there's that. That's my personal one. I need to fill that one out. I don't have this one filled out completely, but you get from looking at the other one, you can sort of see all the different attributes. So the other point before we go to questions, we're going to go to questions in just 1 minute, is the advanced filter. On the advanced filter, so how does that work? So we have these matches, and I've got quite a few because I'm very broad. I will narrow that up. But let's say that I wanted to look at those matches that all belong to the FPA. Okay, so I click FPA, and I apply filters. So that took me from 55 down to 27. So right away, that narrows my search down yet again. Now, if I don't want to do the FPA, I unclick it and I reset the filters. and I apply the filters, and now it's back to 71. Let's say I wanted to search it by custodian. Let's say I wanted to see if Fidelity wanted, of the 71 that I have, how many of them custody Fidelity? 30. That's good to know. 30, and now look, here's one of the 30, one that I've ranked 3 times. Well, this would be somebody I might reach out to. The thing to remember about the advanced filter is that when you put the filters on, they stay on even after you log out and log back in. So if you want to clear the filters to see your complete match list, you would need to undo the radio buttons and hit cancel. Let's see if that did it. No, it didn't. I have to reset filters and apply. There we go. And I'm back. So now it's time for me to take questions. I know we have a lot of things going on here, so a couple questions up here. Let me see if I can make this larger. Alrighty. All right, let's see. I've got one question. So let me just scroll through. How do we utilize this when we have double-digit advisors with varying levels of fees and assets? Okay, so what I would say there is you've got a broad range. So when we look at our, let's go back to the profile really quickly. When we look at the matching profile and you go down to your goals, right? Let's go to the other factors, because that's really what you're talking about. This is a perfect question. So you've got a broad range that you're looking for. And so you would click the best you can here. Pick in the middle of the range, okay? When you get to the what's important, put everything on it's not that important, okay? And that will that will cast your net as wide as it can go within your location. And remember how mine had a whole lot? So I'm going to move some over to reduce that. Also, I've had it out there and I keep changing my search, yet it doesn't drop people that come out of my new search. So you don't have someone and then all of a sudden it's gone. Okay, and I think there's one other question here. All right, and what's the buyer to seller ratio? Okay, let's see, how many users on the system? We've been out for about 12 days and we have over 125 users last check. So spread the word. Remember, it's a self-populated database. And what's the buyer to seller ratio? We're just starting, so I don't have any reports on that. And also one of the items we're going to be capturing is how many people actually connect on the system. I already know that there's been lots of dialogue. One other question, as a woman who owns an RIA, I'm looking to add a woman advisor. Sorry guys, I've got 3 male partners. Is that possible? That's a good one. That's a good one. I understand that. So we haven't asked gender. So that could be one of the first questions in the getting to know you aspect. Look at all the other items, and we could go from there. It's definitely not something that is on the profile at this point, although that's a good one. Okay, we've got one more minute. I wanted to be respectful of the 30 minutes. Are there any other questions? Yes, I know women are a rarity in this. That's right, we certainly are. But what we can do is spread the word. I was at the FPA conference in San Antonio, just got back last night, and really encouraged by the number of young students and lots of young women at the event. And it was just tremendous and uplifting and very good information at the program. So I think we've got one more minute. What I think I want to do is take you logged out, because one thing that we didn't do, which you might be wondering, is the plans and pricing. And so I'm just going to take a minute to show you. We have the 3 plans. basic, personal, and premium. The basic is free, the personal is $29.95 a month, and the premium is $49.95 a month. If you have any questions at any time, you see this little give feedback? Now, I'm logged out, so it's not filled in name and email. But if I'm logged in, that fills right in. So we are only a click away. Please feel free to give us any and all feedback. That, male-female question is a very good one. We'll see what we can do about that. And I welcome your thoughts and your input. Thank you very much. It has been a pleasure. Wish you continued success. Thank you. Bye for now.